Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Here we are, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, December 20th. 5 days until Christmas, if you celebrate that. And it's a dreary, light rain mixed with a few snowflakes here in the greater Boston area. Hope you're doing well where you're from. We are looking at some Morgan dollars up on the screen, but this video will be primarily circled around this submission that just came back from the Santa Ana, California area, where the weather is much different than it is here. Nice and sunny, probably in the 70s. That Barber $half. Nice original, very good. Very, very nice. Full rims on both sides. Very attractive coin. Tough date, a couple $100 coin, even in that grade. But I figured we'd start with these. Some of these will ultimately be submitted. A couple will, a couple won't. Those top three coins that you might look at and say they look a lot like Tidy House toning, and they do, but that's not where they came from. They came from this blue velvet case. Sorry, meant to open it. And this was at a auction. Morgan Silver Dollar Collection. Somebody had their personal opinion grade of MS64, which I don't necessarily agree with, at least not for all of them. I think the 79S is probably the nicest of them all. Beneath that color, you're not going to capture it, but there is some reflectivity going on. It won't make PL, but it does have traces of the characteristics buried deep under the wonderful antique sunburst. I don't even know what color that would be. Orangey rust mixed with some blues and greens, just very attractive. You can see the free-flowing luster just rolling around the coin. There's a small reed mark at the chin, but other than that, very few contact marks. And as you might expect, the reverse is pretty much blast white. A sign of originality when you get the one-sided toning like this. It can come on both sides as well, but this is typical of toning from storage in an album or storage in an envelope. More of an album or end of roll toning, where you get the toning on the side that's exposed to the air in conjunction with the sulfur and other elements in its immediate surroundings. So that's the 79S. This is an 80S. Very similar toning, obviously. I don't believe this is any of those varieties. I don't think it's an 80 over 79, although there is a little something going on under the top of the 0. Let's try to zoom in a little bit here. I haven't really looked at these in great detail, just got them a couple days ago. Yeah, my hand won't stop shaking and I can't put it down because the coin's under. I have to look at that one a little bit closer. There could be something going on there now that I'm looking at it, but nonetheless, it's more about the toning. There is a unfortunate slice down the cheek, which I think would be called a scratch. I don't think that happened at the mint, and then there's another one almost like the width of a staple. That very well could be a staple scratch, somebody being sloppy or careless, so I would say that's a 90-95% chance of not grading, which is extremely unfortunate because we like to send these tone coins in, but this one would probably be a waste of time. Another nice frosty, satiny, lustrous, fully struck coin. Look at the breast feathers. It's got a little bit of that cloudiness going on. We did soak it in acetone for a day just to get any possible debris or contaminants off of it. And then this 81S is quite interesting. You see how much that luster rolls so freely. Unfortunately, let's look at the back first. The reverse. Reverse is very nice and original, similar to the other two. You know, not pristine, probably not gemmy, probably 63 or 64. But this one I don't believe is gradable either. I believe this obverse has been lacquered. Not really polished, but lacquered. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a little too strong and a little bit unnatural to my eye. So it does have nice toning, and it is uncirculated, and at first blush it looks exactly the same as, you know, the 79 and 80 are very similar in terms of its quality, but that coin has been lacquered. So this 1879p definitely has some proof light going on. Can't really see it in the video again. Let me see if I can get a better shot of it. It's not going to happen, I don't think. But there is absolutely some strong reflectivity. Let me try a different approach here. Yeah, trying to do this while holding it with one hand is probably not a good idea. The reverse is probably just shy. It does have proof-like qualities as well, just not enough in my opinion, but it's still a nice coin. Probably a 63. No hairlines. Nothing that jumps out as to why it wouldn't grade. That chatter there, you know, it's going to hold it down to a 63 in my opinion. Possibly even a 62 maybe, depending on, I mean, the luster is very strong and the strike is full, and depending on whether or not they think that, you know, when you get a proof-like type luster, they tend to mark up easier. This middle coin, this 1889, not what you think it is. It is an 1889 and it is a Morgan. It's not a CC. That doesn't leave too many other options because there was no New Orleans 1889. Obviously Denver wasn't in the mix yet, but we have Philadelphia, Carson City, and San Francisco, which is a semi-key date. Fairly scarce San Francisco mint once you get past the 1882. Then the San Francisco coins get really tough for most of the rest of the series. There are a few exceptions, but most of them get really, really tough. And this one, I think, is a solid 63. Nice frosty white coin. And then we have another date you don't see every day. This is a very clean, not cleaned, but clean in terms of contact marks. 1897. The 1897P is a slightly better date. The 97O is a semi-key date, and the 97S is kind of in between. Not as scarce as the New Orleans, but definitely a better date, and there's a big price jump between 63 and 64. Now, at first blush, you might say there's really no contact marks on either side. You know, why wouldn't it be a 64? You got to remember strike and luster. And it does have an above average strike, not quite full, a little flat in places, but I think it's a borderline. I think it's a 63 at best, just for whatever reason, just to my eye. I don't think it has the pizzazz to make a 64, if you know what I'm trying to say. I'm still trying to get the mirrors on that 79. Maybe you can catch it down by the date a little bit. It's very, very strong, and it's just reflecting in the light. We have a pair of 1901 New Orleans to round out, and this one has some proof light going on as well. We've got mirrors on both sides on this one. I think this one has a 2-to-1 shot of making a PL grade at PCGS. If I submitted it 3 times, I think twice it would come back. Probably 63 PL. Pretty clean for a proof light, but there's a decent amount of chatter right there in the middle of the neck and in between the mouth and the chin, and then again in the obverse field. So I would say 63 would be the number for that one. And then we have a 010 with a more traditional satiny luster. A little cleaner on the contact marks, which is typical. As you get away from the proof light type luster, you'll get typically see less contact marks. So this one's probably still a 63, could be a 64, depending on how strong that luster looks. So that's those. And then since we opened with this Barber half, for those familiar, nice original looking surfaces. We do have this cut over here, which I have to look at closer to decide if I'm going to pass on submitting it. Probably will pass now that I'm looking at it, and it looks worse on the camera than it does in hand, but it's still there and big enough to probably prevent a straight grade. But we do have a very nice original looking coin here. We have about 3 letters of Liberty. It's probably a good 6. I don't think it's quite very good. Yeah, I think you need to see more on the shield for very good. You don't have the eagle eye. You have really almost no feathers. So you do have the full rim on both sides. You do have another little scratch over here, but I don't think that alone would hurt it. And some up here. These are circulation. At this level of wear, you're going to get circulation things like that happen. But I would, if this was a straight grade, I would grade it a good 6. Definitely not a very good, even though the previous owner or dealer or whoever it was, their opinion was. We just got this a few days ago. Haven't really looked at it too much, but I do love the key date Barbers, and this is one of my favorite dates. So on that note, we will wrap this part of the video up, and we might even break this into 2 videos since this one went so long. So if this is the end of the video, which it probably is, Sam's Coins and Heavy Metal.com, wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. Please send us an email if you are interested in anything that you see. We sell coins online through our website as well as through eBay USA Coin Book, eBay Sam's Coins and HeavyMetal.com with an underscore between each word. On USA Coin Book, you'll find us under Jimmy Page's Great, all one word, and you can email us at samscoinsandheavymetal@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody. Have a great holiday. Merry Christmas to all of you, and see you in the next one.